Welcome to Nasdaq TradeTalks. I'm Jill Malandrino, global markets reporter at Nasdaq. Joining us at the MarketSite studio in Times Square, New York City, we have Sivan Tehila. She's founder and CEO of Onyxia. We're going to discuss how Chief Information Security Officers, known as the CISO, should prepare to address cybersecurity issues at the board level. It's great to have you with us, Sivan. Welcome to TradeTalks.
Thank you so much.
You got it. Tell us more about Onyxia.
Onyxia is a cybersecurity performance management platform with the vision to allow CISOs to better measure the performance of their cybersecurity programs, to allow them to optimize their return on investments, and to better communicate their business efforts at the business level.
You founded the company in 2022. What was the genesis behind that?
So I served as a CISO myself for many years. And my dream as a CISO was to be able to wake up in the morning and go to one place, like a centralized platform that will allow me to ask, hey, Onyxia, what are the top 3 things I should be afraid of today? What are the top 3 things I should focus on today to get my company a better security maturity level? And that's basically what we're building at Onyxia.
Let's talk about some recent news here. The SEC sent a Wells notice to SolarWinds executives that they may pursue legal action for violations of federal law in connection with their response to a 2020 attack. Tell us more about that.
Yes, so we see that the SEC basically sent this Wells notice, and not like other cases, the Wells notice was sent not only to the CEO and the CFO, but also for the CISO. We saw a similar thing happened about a year ago with the CISO of Uber. And basically what happened in SolarWinds is that was a major supply chain attack that affected many other companies. A hacking group basically injected the SolarWinds systems, and by that, all of their customers and users were affected as well. The SEC basically, this new rule and this Wells notice means a lot to security executives now, because we see that they have more liabilities. And we also saw that just this week, the new SEC risk management rule was approved. And I'm happy to discuss more about this as well.
Yeah, let's talk about the SEC action and more about that proposed rule for cybersecurity. But before we get to that, when in cyber attacks, they're not necessarily doing it for ransom anymore. They're doing it for data, not just company data, but for supply chain data, customer data, vendor data. So it's more about the data than money these days.
Right, and I guess it's all connected. The reason why they want to have this data is it's because they can get more money. If you own a company's data, you can encrypt it and you can ask for a ransom, but they also can use it in order to directly hack those specific companies or specific individuals. They have their data.
So tell us more about this SEC proposed rule for cyber.
So the SEC rule basically suggests that, or the SEC approved that public companies now need to disclose cybersecurity incidents and their cybersecurity risk management programs. And that basically means that companies will need to disclose cybersecurity incidents within 4 days. The other aspect of it, and we see also that the SEC have some exceptions. If there is an incident that is still under investigation, they're not expecting the 4 days rule, but they will communicate with the specific company. The other thing is that companies need to maintain an ongoing cybersecurity risk management at the board level, and they need to communicate it within the board. And that means that companies will also need to have at least one board member that have relevant cybersecurity expertise and experience.
So what does this mean for companies and security executives? You walk into the boardroom, you're the CISO. How do you effectively communicate to the board, which thinks more in terms of finance than technology, the needs that the security team needs to execute on their job?
Well, the role of the CISO is really to enable the business at the end of the day, and the main goal is to reduce cybersecurity risks in order to minimize the risks for the business, which is most of the time related to data, money, and obviously the reputation of the company. And while the CISO is able to maintain relevant KPIs and perform accordingly with an alignment to the business KPIs, that's really where we see this role relevant, and it will be interesting to see how it will affect companies and CISOs.
Because you had mentioned this before, CISOs are currently running their security assessments and building their board reports manually.
Right. Right.
I mean, in today's day and age of AI and data products that are available, it seems antiquated.
Right. It was fascinating to me when we started the company to get all those Excel sheets and to see how still CISOs are doing all this manual work. And that's where I believe that CPM platforms, cyber performance management platforms, play a crucial role in basically enabling CISOs to communicate better their cybersecurity programs, strategies, and KPIs with an alignment to the business, and to really make faster decisions, optimize ROI on top of the business communication aspect of it.
All right, Sivan, appreciate the insight. Thanks for joining us on Trade Talks, and thanks for joining me. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq.